I'm still trying to process the video I made on the 25th anniversary, and it's gnawing at me. I want to delete the video. I think I just need more time to process it, and I'm embarrassed by the whole event. I feel like I'm walking away from a car accident, and the long story is that after years of not getting anyone, right people to review my book, I found a YouTuber, and she said something that startled me.
This is a man who dies and goes to hell. He's not allowed to escape until he finds the book of his life. I liked this book. I like reading about different versions of hell.
And that set everything in motion, and I've been upset with how I handled this, but at the same time I'm looking back at all the inputs of what pushed me into believing that she was the right person to read or review the book. And she ran a book channel, and it covers a lot of diseases, and the book Emperor of All Maladies, for anyone with a chronic health problem who looks at cancer, it is the emperor of attention, and that it commands so much attention, and yet it's so simple. There isn't a whole lot to explain behind cell growth that is just continuous. I mean, it's a difficult disease to fight, and it kills, but in terms of communication, and the other reason is that she's a physicist who specializes in systems dynamics, and that is the underlying component of migraines as a dynamical disease. And she said some things that she didn't seem to grasp that.
Can you imagine if you get headaches all the time and they're like, I guess our only option is to open your skull and look at your brain? No, MRIs.
That set me off on a course of just... And then I got trapped. I got Lyme disease, and I couldn't stop myself from communicating, and I ended up getting myself blocked by her, and I just assumed I would, I was in the domain of her compassion, and when I realized I'm just beyond the bounds of it, it was just implosion. And now looking back at the experience, it just reminds me of when I was young in the hospital, I would meet people with health problems, and they would sit you down, and they would, I was a kid, I was a fresh-faced kid, but they'd tell me everything wrong with it, every complaint, everything they've been through, every problem with their health, every doctor, and they would just, at the end, then they'd tell me how lucky I am. And this problem of, when someone gets unhealthy, they put it on other people, and, guilting them into being healthy. And that just made me sick to my stomach, because, I don't want to ever turn into that. And now, 20-some years later, being disabled, I feel like that's all I am. Anytime I try to communicate my health, I'm putting it on someone. I'm guilting them or something. And it's pretty hard when you're in pain.